This week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Edgar Berlanga and Steve Rolls. I just finished watching this fight, and I see, Edwin Berlanga, he's 18-0, 16 by KO, and this is his second fight where he didn't get the knockout, okay? He was known for the 16 straight knockouts. He's been knocking people out. Eric Lubin, we've seen that sparring session where Lubin tore into him, and then that definitely showed flaws, okay? Holes in his defense. And I didn't see anything new. He added Andre Rozier on, of course, that used to train Deverenchenko, Danny Jacobs. And I didn't see anything spectacular. I just seen a mediocre guy that's looking to throw power shots and getting guys out of there. And I can't help but to think about Daniel Dubois, okay? Daniel Dubois was similar. He was a similar guy until it came down to not getting the knockout. The knockouts came easy, especially when the fighters came there and got right in front of you. Well, in this case, he was with a 37-year-old Steve Rolls, okay? And Steve Rolls is a former middleweight, mind you. And he was stopped by Golovkin in 4 rounds, but he ended up fighting Edgar Berlanga to a very close fight, 94-95, 97-93. And people were looking for a knockout, of course. But let me tell you something. I've seen so many things that Berlanga could have worked on. And he didn't. He didn't work behind the jab to set up his power shots. He was looking for power shots all day versus a guy that was boxing and moving. He was boxing and moving, and he was throwing the jab. And I think, actually, if Steve Rolls would have started throwing the jab earlier in the fight, this would have been a better fight for him. This probably would have been a different fight altogether. Maybe Edgar could have thrown and landed that right hand he was looking for, that left hook he's known for, but Steve Rolls still did a good job, and he came on strong. He definitely tested Edgar Berlanga. He showed that experience can outweigh brute strength. He showed that much. And I didn't see anything spectacular or different by Berlanga. I think that he needs to learn more. I think people need to get him back to the drawing board, and unfortunately, I think that won't happen until someone goes in there and beats him and really exposes and exploits this guy, because he's not showing me anything. And I know for a fact, based on the way he talks, he's not looking to improve. I just looked at the press conference, or really his interview in the ringside, and he said, well, Steve Rolls, he ran the whole fight. I thought that he was going to stand in front of me, and it's hard to fight people when they run. No, it's hard to fight people when you don't set your punches up. If someone knows what you're going to do, they're not going to allow you to punch them. See, that's what happens when you go in there and you're fighting tomato cans, potato cans, or whatever type of cans that you have, milk cartons. You know that these guys are designed. Not everybody's designed to come there and get their head knocked off by a guy that can punch. And at what I see about Berlanga, I was like, man, what a hell of a prospect. But what I'm seeing now is the more he's going up in competition, I think we're going to start seeing some L's. We're going to start seeing some upsets. Why? Because of the way he talked. Well, I guess these guys are going to run now, so I guess I got to get prepared for these guys to run. No, you got to get prepared to box and use your defense as well as your offense, as well as those big shots that people already know that's coming. They're just not idiots anymore, and they're especially not retarded, especially when you keep rising up the opposition chain. Okay, that's one thing he's failing to realize. Well, these guys are going to run scared. No, it's becoming more difficult to knock out guys because they're not the guys that you're accustomed to knock out. Counterpunch. Okay, and that's what I see in Edgar Berlanga, because Berlanga saying shit like that, he's not looking to improve. He didn't see anything was wrong with his performance. He didn't work behind the jab. He didn't come in with the jab. That's why Steve Rolls was able to throw his own jab. And Steve Rolls, by round 4 and 5, found out, you know what? This motherfucker ain't even jabbing me. He's not even jabbing me. He's trying to walk himself in, throw left hooks and overhand rights to set up the left hook. That's what he's doing. And it's crazy because it's like, okay, you expect someone that has been in there with Triple G to fall for that shit that you're doing. That amateurish style that you've got accustomed to knocking people out with. You think everybody's going to fall for that same play. Really? Let's mark my words, okay? Edgar Berlanga will be stopped soon. Why? As soon as he gets in there with somebody that knows how to, he's going to get the shit beat out of him, or they're going to have to stop the fight. He already has thin skin. I've seen that because Steve Rolls can't punch. Okay? See, you don't hook with a hooker, but you can jab with a jabber. And when Steve Rolls found out this guy can't or won't jab, I'm going to put my jab in his face. And that's how Steve Rolls created success for himself. Bop, 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 bop. That's how he created that. So as far as Berlanga, I think somebody needs to sit him down and make him understand, like, listen, this is going to go very bad for you if you keep on with this one-dimensional style. Because that's all I saw. I saw a guy looking for a punch that didn't land. That's why it went 10 fucking rounds. That's what I saw. That's all I saw. Okay, like a lot of power punches, if you stand in front of them, they will knock your brains out. But if you give them angles and you take walks around the block and you do frustrate them, they won't know what to do. And neither did Edgar Berlanga. Neither did he. I was not impressed. Rozier or no Rozier, I was not impressed by what he was doing. And I was really surprised by the arrogance. Oh, well, he just ran. You have to be prepared for guys that know how to move. Moving is a part of elusiveness. Elusiveness is a part of defense. Somebody needs to teach these kids something about boxing because they're going to have to be in there with all types of style of fighters. What if Steve Rolls was a guy that was a kind of a rope-a-dope style guy that made Edgar, because Edgar Berlanga looked like every time he threw a punch, he looked like he was getting tired. Okay, so that's another problem. You know, strength and conditioning is another problem for him because he's got so accustomed to landing certain shots that get you out of there, and he's created the reputation for, hey, I hit him with this shot or that shot, he's going down. And I know it because I believe in my power. When you start thinking that, that's going to be the problem. Okay? Pride always cometh before the fall. And his fall, if he does not fix what he needs to fix, is coming soon. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Edgar Berlanga defeating Steve Rolls in a 10-round unanimous decision. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!